Hi, I'm Simon, and I really like Batman. And I also really like music, and I also really like Batman music. So I thought that I would just make a tier list of Batman songs that I know from major Batman media that I've seen. And I won't be including any of the actual music in the video since I don't really want a copyright claim. But I will include my own piano covers for some of the songs, and all the themes are linked in the description in the order that I discuss them. So, this list is just my opinion, and I am definitely biased. I love the Arkham games. I've never seen Batman 89. I literally made a video saying how much I love the music of the Arkham games, so I'm probably going to be biased toward them. But, there's not a huge reasoning for this list. It's just for fun. And all the songs are good in their own ways, and it was really hard to rank them. And honestly, I think my opinions will change, swayed with every way the wind blows. So it's really not a serious list, but it's just something that I thought would be fun. Also, just a quick note, I didn't include Batman Returns or The Dark Knight Rises because their themes are pretty much identical to their predecessor movies. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the first one I'm going to be ranking is Batman 89. So this one it's really well known and extremely memorable and just iconic and beloved, and it does fit the character really well. It's swooping, it's epic, it's exciting, but it's also brooding, and it's so creepy and gothic. At this point with a modern Batman, it feels kind of out of date, but it's still really great. It's still an amazing theme and a great piece of music. And I'm gonna have to rank it as S tier. It's just one of those iconic themes that you just know it's just the Batman theme, and it's gothic emotion and everything with its iconic presence. Just I couldn't put it any lower than that. So next one, I'm going in chronological order here. So the next one is Batman Forever, and this one it's sort of just a repeat of '89. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It did come out shortly after. It's in the same universe and all that, or a similar universe. It's not really clear when I looked it up. And it's got some really nice wide tunes and fits Batman well, but doesn't really stand out much compared to its predecessors. So just because it's not super original, there's not much reason to listen to this over the '89 theme. I'm gonna have to rank it as C. And then next, Batman and Robin, pretty much the same deal, similar to '89 and the Forever theme. Not bad, but just not super original. So pretty much the same as the Forever theme. I'm gonna just rank it C. And then next is the Mask of the Phantasm theme. Now this one is interesting. It's got some really nice opening choir and vocal use, and it's just very unsettling and creepy. Almost reminds me of the theme for Arkham Asylum, which we'll get to later. And it's just a great theme for the movie and a really great Batman theme overall, like the '89 theme. But it's not super memorable. And I think I'd know it if I heard it, but it's not quite up there to be an S or A, but I think it's a solid B. And so, yeah, place that. So the next one is Batman Begins. So quite a big time jump there, but the Batman Begins theme, it's just iconic. It's just a great song. I'm actually learning it on piano right now. And that video will be out pretty soon, but not super soon because it's longer than what I'm used to playing. I mean, if you're watching this in the future, you can click it. It'll probably be linked in the info card right now. But it's just an iconic song. It's just fits the modern Batman and the Gotham in Batman Begins. And it contrasts with the '89 tone, but it still feels like a really solid, just a Batman theme. And it builds super well. It makes the listener feel powerful, determined, and heavily motivated. And it just portrays the crusade of Batman super well. So it just feels more like a Batman-specific theme, and it's more so than even the Dark Knight theme, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, it's just such a Batman-y song, and I think the swooping theme and the build-up are really what make it compared to the Dark Knight theme. And with all that, I'm gonna have to rank Molossus, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly, from Batman Begins as a solid S tier. It's just great, but just below the '89 theme, I think. Just because it's not, the '89 theme is so gothic, and that's a big part of Batman. But honestly, like I said, the list it's minor. They're really even and all great in their own way. So next is the Dark Knight theme. So this one, it feels powerful, it feels optimistic, and it really fits well with the ending of the movie, and just brings out such strong emotions and sorrow in the listener. As a theme for the movie, it's perfect, and it's really similar to the Batman Begins theme, but it really does also have its own parts. And the only con I could give it is that it's somewhat just, just a Hans Zimmer song and not as much a Batman specific song. It just doesn't make me think of Batman or Gotham by hearing it on its own, without context, quite as much as something like Molasses, but it's still a great song and a great follow-up, so that's going to be a solid A tier. And then next we have The Dark Knight Returns. This movie is great. This comic book was great, although I've never read it, but the movie was great. Yeah, this song is great too. It's triumphant. It's extremely powerful. It's just a great theme. It's memorable and highly impactful the way it's used within the movie. And it's nothing super specific for Batman. It could be any superhero theme really. But I'm gonna rank it as a B because it's still a really powerful and impactful piece of music. And that's gonna go straight to the top of B tier. And next we are at Arkham Asylum already. And this song, it's moody, it's dark, it's haunting, and it's grim. It fits Arkham Asylum, the game, perfectly, and Arkham Asylum in general in the Gotham or Batman universe. But it's not a super hum-worthy song. It's not super, like, it's memorable, but it's not something you're gonna go around humming. Not like the Arkham City theme, at least, even though it's the same motif. And so it just doesn't really feel like it's Batman outside of Arkham Asylum. And for these reasons, I'm gonna have to rank it a B. It's similar to the Mask of the Phantasm, similar vibe, but not quite as impactful or strong. The choir stuff I think really makes the Mask of the Phantasm just a bit better. And now we are on to a song that I absolutely love. I mean, I love most or all of these, but this one I absolutely love. This is Arkham City, and it's super catchy. It's immediately memorable. It's swooping and majestic, but still sorrowful, sad, and somewhat grim. And it describes the tone of Arkham City perfectly and fits Batman super well also. It's just got this powerful build-up and sweeping peak, and it's just really what makes this song. It's just takes the Arkham motif and transforms it into one that doesn't just fit a grim asylum, but also fits Batman and Gotham overall. And just similarly to the way Molasses does this, they're quite similar with the swooping themes, and both of them just make me feel amazing and so great. They're just incredible songs to listen to. So that is going to go straight to the top of S. From an objective standpoint, I can't really decide between this, Molasses, and the 89 theme. But subjectively, because of my own personal experience with the Arkham games, I have a feeling that's why. At least, I think I'm going to place it just a little bit above, just because I get such a wave of nostalgia for Arkham City every time I hear the song. But again, subject to change, this is just my opinion. And next is Arkham Origins, which has a theme that is very great also. It describes the Batman of Origins and its tone really well also. It's really quite catchy and motivating, and it almost pumps you up. And as a theme for Batman as a whole, it's a bit angrier than generally, and of course Christmas themed, which is relevant to the game but not Batman generally. But it does fit a really aggressive younger Batman. So I'm gonna have to rank this as an A tier. And it's pretty much even with the Dark Knight theme ranking below, just due to the Christmas thing, which makes it a bit less Batman specific. So next we have Arkham Origins Blackgate, and this one, it's pretty memorable. It's a solid theme. It combines Origins and Asylum well, faster and higher pitched like Origins, but brooding and foreboding like Asylums. I didn't talk about it in my Music of Arkham video, but it's definitely worth at some point looking into, and if I ever make a sequel to that video, I'll definitely talk about it. By the way, if you want any more in-depth info about how and why I love the Arkham music and how they are so symbolic of their games, that video is why I love the music of Batman Arkham. I'll probably have it in the info card right here, and maybe at the end of the video, but it's a great video. I put a lot of effort into it, so if you like Arkham, or you like music, or you like both, it's worth checking out. But anyway, the Blackgate theme, it does sort of blend in, though, as a generic Arkham theme. But it's a shame it came with such a meh game because I think the theme itself is pretty solid. So it's a low B. You know, it's not bad, but it's just not super memorable compared to the Origins theme, or I guess because it's so similar to the Origins theme. And then next, pivoting over, we have the Batman v Superman Batman theme. And you know, this almost feels like a villain theme, especially at the start. It sort of builds up and up with these ghostly vocals, and it's not particularly memorable, but it's definitely powerful and impactful. And the villain element sort of fits those ideas in BVS, but it just doesn't really work as a Batman theme particularly. It's a great score, great piece of music, but it just doesn't make me think of Batman. And it's not as memorable as some others on this list, though it still has some pretty memorable sections. So I'm going to have to rank that top of C tier. And then now we're getting the more obscure ones, although I actually seem to have skipped Arkham Knight. Oh, I forgot Arkham Knight. Oh, now it's not chronological, but that's not a big deal. So my opinion on this theme, it fits Knight's tone well, and it ties together the songs from all the previous games, including this epic swooping version of the Arkham motif, similar to what's in City, but even more impactful. You know, it takes those vocals, which I praise the Phantasm theme for, and it gets that choir playing in the background, but it just doesn't stick in your head as well as any of the other themes. It's haunting and awe-inspiring, but just, you know, when you compare to the other Arkham themes especially, it's just not quite up there. It's still a bit better than Blackgate though, just because it's just a bit more memorable and distinct. But overall, not a bad theme, fits the game very well, but you know, just not super memorable compared to the other Arkham themes. So I'm gonna have to put it below Asylum because it's just a little bit less unique or creepy or whatever, just memorable, but above Blackgate. But honestly, those could be flipped around. It's pretty even. So now moving a bit further again, we are at the Telltale series. Now I've started playing this, but I haven't completed it. So it's pretty similar to the Dark Knight theme. It just doesn't really stand out very much. It's sort of just a clone of the Dark Knight theme. It's very similar. It's a good theme and it's pretty fitting, and you could hum it. You know, it's catchy, but it's just so very clearly similar to the Dark Knight theme that it just can't stand out. So I'm gonna have to rank this one a C as well. It could almost be any dramatic video game theme and it would work. So I'm gonna have to place it below Forever and Batman and Robin, since those were at least like Batman-y. You know, those were pretty gothic. You could think of Batman from hearing those, or you could guess if you were told that was a superhero theme and they asked which superhero. But this one is just not as certain there. And then, last but not least, the original Batman theme from the 1966 Adam West show. Now, this one I don't even know what to do with. Like, it's so different. It's not even trying, and I love it, but it doesn't fit Batman at all. But ranking it low would just be sacrilegious. So, you know, it by no means fits the character, but it's so iconic. I just can't put it anywhere but S. So I'm ranking everything else on genuine musical factors in my opinion, but this one I just couldn't. Like, I couldn't put this in D, I couldn't put it in F, and I couldn't put it in between. It had to go to S. But you'll notice I don't have any D tiers or even a place for an F tier because, you know, like I said, I don't think any of these are bad. I think that they're all great. In fact, it was really hard to rank them for this list, like I've mentioned. And you know, yeah, this is my list. Let me know in the comments if you agree or you disagree, or suggestions if you think I should cover some other themes in a future list. But yeah, thanks for watching.